Hi, this is Cody with the Obstacle Doc, and we're going to be taking a look at a reverse plank exercise that we often use for helping people with low back pain. This exercise is a great way to challenge some of the posterior chain muscle groups on our body, which include our hamstrings, glutes, and paraspinal column. We use this exercise a lot for people who maybe are experiencing pain and weakness with exercises like deadlift, squats, difficulty with bending over and returning to a standing position. This is also a really nice exercise for those who maybe have been fearful of using their low back in the past, and it's a really great way to, through regressions or progressions, start to build some courage in using your spine. So I'm gonna have Chris get himself set up. Our goal is to get the heels up on one bench and the scapula of the trunk here on the other. Chris's main points of performance are to drive through the heels of his feet so he can feel his hamstrings engage, tighten his glute muscles, and maintain this really nice straight line. And we typically are prescribing these for holds. So you can think of your classic plank holds, 30 to 45-second rounds. You can also challenge this exercise by reaching the arms overhead and adding to the hold. You can also maintain the arms at your chest and start to perform something like a leg lift, where you can start to unilaterally challenge the posterior chain. And we can typically have people do repetitions of alternating leg raises. Another way to challenge this would be to add some weight to Christopher's torso. Now, if you don't have two benches at home or a way to set this up at home, or you need something a little bit easier, a really nice way to perform this exercise is to take away the bench that was behind the shoulder blades and instead just lay on the floor. I'll have Christopher lay on the floor, and he's gonna place straight leg, place his heels up onto the bench. He's gonna lay flat, arms against his chest to start, and it's the same points of performance as before. Christopher's gonna dig his heels into the bench to engage his hamstrings. He's gonna tighten his glutes, and he's gonna try to lift himself up off the ground as much as he can. Our goal, no matter which variation we choose, is to be able to maintain this nice straight line. And again, if he'd like, he can take his arms overhead for a little extra challenge, or he can also begin to work on leg lifts. This reverse plank variation can also be used as a nice way to load and challenge the hamstring muscle group after injury, like a muscle strain. So Christopher's gonna do the exact same exercise. He's gonna drive his heels into the bench. He's gonna lift his hips up. And in a case like this, where we want to challenge eccentric strength of the muscle group, he's lifted with two, and he's gonna raise one leg into the air and lower himself back down to the ground through his involved leg.